Welcome back, folks, to Let's Play Star Trek Judgement Rites. When last we left off, the Let's Play had finished, but the game is not over yet. There are still a few more things I'd like to show, specifically on this final two-part mission. Starting with one of the ways you can immediately do things terribly wrong before you've even started, and that is the distress signal from the Romulan neutral zone.
On screen, Captain.
This is Sub-Commander Guyon of the Warbird Infinitus. We are under attack. Assist us, please.
Transmission jammed at the source, sir. The transmission originated on the Romulan side of the neutral zone.
That's suspicious.
Captain, this could be a setup. The Romulans might be trying to lure us into a treaty violation.
They might be.
We can't interfere in Romulan business. Take us to our next mission.
We could do that, but in this instance, we're not going to do what I did.
Set course warp factor 8. I'm not going to ignore a distress call, even if it is a Romulan.
Even if it is a trap. Let's walk right into a trap.
Captain's log supplemental. In answer to a distress signal, we are crossing the Romulan neutral zone in violation of treaty. We are approaching the source of the distress signal.
Let's find out what it is.
We are now entering the Romulan neutral zone.
Thanks, Mr. Spock. We are now violating a treaty.
Captain, a Romulan warbird is approaching toward us on an intercept course.
Yes.
Hail it, Uber.
Indeed.
I have an audio response only.
Okay.
So, now it is the Federation that tries to stop me from winning my prize.
Whoa, what's going on here?
Romulan ship is approaching on an attack vector.
Fair enough.
Raising shield.
Let's see what we can do.
Arming weapons.
This is gonna be interesting. Oh! We are getting shot at. Oh, and they can turn invisible.
Unable to comply, Captain. We're under attack.
Oh yes, that's not the ability to, yeah, you can sort of see an outline if you're very careful, but it most certainly has vanished. We are now fighting a Romulan warbird. We don't know where the Romulan warbird is, but while it's cloaked, it can't actually fire. This is a very interesting, considering the fact that I didn't originally think that there was going to be something interesting going on here. But indeed, something interesting is going on here. What is this prize that you're referring to? Is this a treasure? A ship? Oh, hello. Ow, they hurt, by the way. And it's gone.
Got him.
Indeed. But why are we here?
Captain, 4 Romulan warbirds are on an intercept course.
Ah.
We're being hailed. The commander wishes visual contact.
Okay.
On screen.
Let's see how terribly this goes.
This is Commander Starus of the Invictus.
Okay.
Commander, we were responding.
I doubt that. I doubt they're going to believe us.
Explanations are unnecessary, Captain. We thank you for your humanitarian response to the Infinitus distress signal, and we recognize that you destroyed the rogue warbird in self-defense. We will overlook violations of treaty this time.
Okay, I thought this was going to be a trap. I, in fact, am completely and utterly wrong.
How kind of you.
That is quite kind.
Captain, we have discovered a mutual threat, a race of beings that seems determined to manipulate a wide variety of life forms that call themselves the Brasa. If you have encountered them, it may be in both of our interests to exchange information.
Oh.
Spock, transmit all we know about the Brasa to the Romulans.
I don't think I'm going to trust them on this.
I've heard the name, but we know next to nothing about them. I don't think we can help you.
Yeah, we don't know what their agenda is here.
Brasica? I've never heard of them.
They're not going to believe that.
Spock, transmit all we know about the Brasica to the Romulans.
That's a terrible idea.
I've heard the name, but we know next to nothing about them. I don't think we can help you.
I think that's pretty much true.
Perhaps if you come across this information, we can share it. Please leave Romulan space as quickly as possible. The longer you stay, the more difficult it becomes to ignore this incident.
Well, this is something completely different that I didn't even think about actually, looking at. Wow.
Understood, Helmsman. Set course for Federation space.
Indeed. Let's get out of here. Well, I was wrong.
This day is not going well.
No, it is not. And indeed, I believe at that point we just return back to exactly what we were doing, which is the rest of the mission. Well, I'm pretty sure at this point you'd lose a fair amount of points if you were actually doing this and it all went terribly. Because basically, we're not meant to be violating Romulan space, and I'm sure that will work against us when it comes to actually the final score. But that is not the only thing that can happen on this mission. We did miss a dialogue option with McCoy with the phase machine, and also we missed opportunities to get things very, very wrong. So, one moment. And we are back. This time we're at the point where we managed to restore the phase computer. And there was one dialogue choice that we hadn't yet mentioned before the Brasa got in contact with us, and that was the third one. It wasn't a Kirk dialogue choice, it was a McCoy one.
Please clarify.
I'm curious about what your builders really had in mind, shipping off all these people off-planet. There seems to have been some shadier agenda. The eugenics wars of our own past produced some of the ugliest abuses in human history. And notorious characters like Khan Noonien Singh, whose name still resounds with infamy. How is this ship you call the Compassion justified?
That is a good question.
I have no information about your eugenics wars, but a fundamental social philosophy of the builders was that civilized people of goodwill would tolerate and value variability as a sign of cultural and social health. That a civilization will be judged by its tolerance of disparate ideas, by how it treats those who cannot protect themselves, be they very young, very old, or otherwise challenged, by the measure of altruism extended to those less powerful, even when rightfully in possession of something desired.
Interesting answer.
A central aspect of Vulcan philosophy is embodied in the Idic. Infinite diversity in infinite combinations. It would seem the builders pursued similar high ideals.
So it would seem.
High ideals, perhaps, but that does not explain why these people are in space phase.
It doesn't.
More than this I cannot explain. However, you can locate additional library data under the heading Compassion.
Okay.
Oh, I haven't made it available. I should have done that immediately. I can't imagine why I didn't think of it.
Indeed.
Fascinating, Captain. That instance of forgetfulness makes it possible to speculate that the phase is not wholly restored after all.
Indeed.
Then are there other questions?
Not at the moment.
The primary reason we came aboard, please, I'd be... That's all for now, Phase. I assume we could...
I will do my best, Captain. Although intelligent entities often find that there are more questions than answers.
We could just take that paralens, but I don't feel like taking that paralens. I get the feeling the paralens might be something that might be fought over, considering the fact that that is basically the entire computer library of that actual computer in some form or another. But we have one more thing we need to do, and that is to deal with the various things when actually encountering the Brasa. And we shall return with that in a moment. And we are back. We are back just before we're about to enter into this portal to talk to the Brasa. Let us try and enter this portal, but first, let's try and scan it. I didn't actually think about trying to scan it.
Captain, I'm getting a thoroughly anomalous reading. This passage definitely defies the physical laws of space and time.
Not surprising.
Are you suggesting it might be some kind of space warping portal spot?
Exactly.
The doors on this ship have given previous evidence of this kind of warping. Although the passages on this ship seem normal, they appear to curve space without resorting to hyperspace generation, like the Enterprise's engines. That represents achievements of technology beyond our own abilities.
Indeed.
They certainly aren't as capable in the field of medicine. These people are suffering from genetic and chemical conditions that we've been able to treat for the last century. It's barbarous to pack them into this ill-conceived generation ship and hope by the time they make the return trip that those left behind will have figured out something more humane to do with them.
Captain, if I may interject, that disparity is something we've glimpsed throughout this ship. there is a sophisticated food delivery system and a food-producing hydroponics garden. It is as if the parts of this ship don't fit together, or as if there were some purpose beyond the obvious.
Like a test.
I was thinking the same thing myself, Lieutenant. I'd like to have a talk with whoever is behind this.
Let's go and have a talk with whoever...
And I also, Captain Kirk. I believe our observations have been as anomalous as yours. Moreover, I don't think the Fays are the ones we must address our questions to.
Indeed. Let's go through that portal.
Captain Klaa, I will not let you depart. These human scum have tricked you. If I have to beat up all of you, I will. You, Vulcan, you understand orders. Help me knock out my mad captain, and I will take him away and out of your hair.
This is worth it just to see Klaa punch him in the face again. Yep, that was worth it. That was worth it. Let's go.
Mr. Scott, they've disappeared off the sensors.
Oh well, blow up the ship.
What do you mean, laddie?
He means exactly that.
They've just vanished.
Don't worry, they're gonna vanish a lot more soon. Chapter 8! And we're gonna start doing things very, very wrong. Very wrong.
Captain's log, stardate 6269.3. The landing party and the Klingon Captain Klaa have passed through a portal in time and space. We're about to face tests by the Brasa. Success will mean formal relations. Failure will mean unknown.
We're gonna find out.
Welcome. We applaud your willingness to confront the unknown.
Indeed.
Please tell us what's going on. Where are we?
We're about to be tested.
Patience. I cannot answer all yet. Those elements of our society still ill at ease with your cultures have more questions.
Indeed.
We've had enough. No more foolish tests.
No more tests.
More tests. Let's just get on with it. I'd like to hear what the others think.
I think we need to dismiss all these tests.
We've had enough. No more foolish tests.
And this will probably end this completely.
Before we share, we will satisfy ourselves of who and what you are. The Brasa choose not to complete contact until certain.
Okay.
We seek out new life and new civilizations. If that means more tests, we will do them.
We'll just go, nah.
Your attitude doesn't impress me, send us home. We seek out. Your attitude doesn't impress me, send us home.
I like this. It's like, you're not gonna play fair? Well, we'll just go away then.
Your attitude does not credit you. Depart. We shall not contact you for some time.
And with that, we've completely ruined all chances of communicating with the Brassican.
What's that supposed to mean?
It's not good.
I guess it means we'll all look back on this as a mistake.
Yep.
True, Dr. McCoy. I believe our peoples will come together in the future. But now is not the future.
Indeed. We are not going to get a good report.
Captain's log, stardate 6270.5. I have failed in our mission to make formal contact with the Brasa. My answer was responsible for the Brasa rejecting diplomatic relations with the Federation.
Yep.
The Klingon ship is leaving orbit.
Not surprising.
They didn't even say goodbye.
Nope.
They did display considerable anger, Captain.
Not surprising.
I can't blame them, Mr. Spock.
Nope.
Message from Starfleet, Captain.
They're not gonna be happy.
I've reviewed your report from your recent assignment, Captain, and have a few comments.
Yeah.
I'll be frank, Kirk. Starfleet expects more out of you than that. If I were you, I'd do some serious soul-searching about my command ability. I would expect as much from a cadet, but from Starfleet's finest. I'm gonna have to forward my concerns to Command. Kane out.
Yeah, that's not a good sign at all. But at least we didn't totally fail. At least we didn't totally fail. There are a few other ways that we can fail, and we're going to go right to the very end here. I think that pretty much at any point, if we give the wrong answer, this same thing happens. But there is one final point where we can fail, and that's right at the end. So, we'll join it there. And we are back one last time, as there are numerous things we can do here that will make this go horribly wrong. Like refusing this disc, for instance.
misgivings about the Klingon race. For our mutual protection, here is a paralens disk of data which I want you to have. With this knowledge, you can come to our defense. Will you take it and safeguard our future?
No.
Yes, I'll take the disc. Not without knowing more about it. No, take it up with the Federation ambassador when he gets here.
Yep, that's a good responsive no.
He will no longer speak to you.
Oh. That's not good.
Captain Kirk, isn't it time you returned to your ship?
Probably. We have nothing actually to hand over to Klaa now. So, therefore, we can't actually get the information or the knowledge that he has one of those discs. So we're going to load. This time, we're going to ask about the disc, and then we're probably going to take it.
Captain Kirk?
Yes, I'll take the disc. Not without knowing more about it.
What is on it?
We can give you the know-how to build a reader console for the paralens. What else would you want to know?
Indeed.
I want to know what's on the disc.
What is on the disc?
The Compassion, the generation ship you explored before coming here, was a probe ship that scanned Klingon space. This paralens contains the data. If they cause us harm, you could retaliate deep into their territory.
Oh dear.
How do I know you won't sell us out too?
Good question.
I understand a desire for vengeance, but the Organian Treaty would stop it. Information like this could ignite interstellar war.
It could.
Do with it as you see fit, Captain. Will you take it?
We'll take it.
Give me the paralens.
Now that we have it, we can now, basically go through some various options with this disc.
Save new replace.
We're going to actually save in a completely different slot here, like there, and we'll talk to Klaa.
Captain Kirk, isn't it time you returned to your ship?
Not quite. We have one more thing to do. This.
What's this, Kirk? It looks like a paralens. Zente, what do you know about this?
Captain Kirk, is it your intention to turn over that data to Captain Klaa?
We could do that.
Yes, in the name of the trust and cooperation, Captain Klaa, the data disk belongs in your hands.
We could just give it to him.
What is it exactly?
You might want to reconsider, Captain Kirk. What if I substituted a scan of Federation space and told you it was a scan of Klingon space?
That would be sneaky.
These aliens gave you a scan of our sovereign territory, Kirk? I demand you give that to me!
Okay.
If it is a scan of Federation territory, Captain Kirk, you will be branded a traitor if you hand it over. A difficult quandary, is it not?
It is.
And the last Brassican test, is it not, Zinti?
Even if you had a reader console to examine that paralens, which of you would read it? So we will not provide it. If you believe that makes this the last of our tests, so be it.
Ah.
This disk contains data which could bring about war. It must be destroyed.
Interestingly, we don't know that he has a disc.
Klaa, you have shown a level of honor I never expected. Take the paralens. If it's a scan of Federation space, I trust you to see it destroyed.
That's an option.
Klaa, if this is a scan of Klingon space, you have my word, it will be destroyed.
That's not going to work.
This disk contains data which could bring about war. It must be destroyed.
We're going to do the third option because it's the worst option.
Klaa, if this is a scan of Klingon space, you have my word, it will be destroyed.
He's not going to like that.
You are Honorable Kirk, but you can't know what your superiors at Starfleet will do. Give me the disc.
Well, that eliminates that option. Oh, a fight.
Captain Kirk, you and your crew must leave immediately. We must reconsider our earlier decision.
Yup, because there was a fight.
I'm only going to do what I had to, Zinti. It was Captain Klaa who jumped me, not the other way around.
Even so.
That will be taken into account, Captain. For the immediate future, our association with your people will remain in effect. Maybe not as wholehearted as it might have been.
Oh dear.
Let me leave you with this. Individuals among us act as individuals, for good and for ill. But overall, the different races of the Federation are joined in a mutual respect. that overcomes differences. I think you will be pleased with this.
Now, there are many different ways that we can do that scenario, but I knew that there was one potential one where you end up punching out Klaa. And it was that one that I wanted to show. But by all means, you should play this one yourself, and play the whole game yourself, and see all the many different options that I didn't show.
I think I can already see that, Captain Kirk. Farewell.
Indeed, farewell after we have punched out Klaa, who then immediately stands up. I get the feeling this is not going to end as nicely as it did before. Not at all.
Captain's log, stardate 6270.5. I, have failed in our mission to make formal contact with the Brasica. My conflict with the Klingon Captain Klaa was responsible for the Brasica rejecting diplomatic relations with the Federation.
Yeah, that would do it.
I do not believe Starfleet will look favorably upon this report.
What a shock, Mr. Spock.
I can't blame them, Mr. Spock.
Message from Starfleet, Captain.
Yep, this is going to end badly.
Let's get this over with.
I've reviewed your report from your recent assignment, Captain, and have a few comments.
Just a few.
I'll be frank, Kirk. Starfleet expects more out of you than that. If I were you, I'd do some serious soul-searching about my command ability. I would expect as much from a cadet, but from Starfleet's finest. I'm going to have to forward my concerns to Command. Kane out.
Indeed. That's not very good at all. But by all means, that scenario alone has countless different solutions. The game, in fact, has countless different solutions. And I'd encourage you, if you play it, to play it differently. I'm not going to guarantee any of those solutions are better, because I played pretty well through that, amazingly. But there are many ways to get red shirts killed, and there are ways to... Basically, you could pick a fight with Ellis, you pick a fight with Klaa there, you can get Ensign Walker, I think, killed in the Void mission. There might be a way that you can leave without Spock. There are multiple different solutions to these missions, and most of them are worse. So, with that, folks, that properly concludes Judgement Rites. I just thought I'd have just a few of the ones that I thought might be the most interesting, including punching Klaa in the face, because let's be honest, Kirk hasn't punched anyone in the face nearly enough in this playthrough. It's only happened like once, and that's when you're doing it right. So, when we come back, folks, who knows? But there won't be any more punching of Klaa in the face by Kirk. Apologies for that, just had to cut out a little bit there. So, when we come back, folks, who knows what will occur next? Which game I will play, but I'm sure there will be one. So, I'm Kikoskia, and once again, that was some of the tiny quantity of ways that you can do things horrendously wrong in Judgement Rites. And I'll see you next time, folks. I'll catch you then. Later.